There is nothing wrong with your radio.
Do not attempt to adjust the volume.
We are controlling the broadcast.
For the next hour we will control all that you hear.
You are about to experience the knowledge and insights of the Media Mothership.
All right, you're listening to Edge Radio, and this is Media Mothership 99.3 FM. We're broadcasting out of Edge Radio Studio, singular, and from Nipaluna, Hobart, Tasmania. I'm your host.
Who are you?
Dramatic pause. Dr. Craig. Yeah, because I'm joined by Dr. Emerald.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Emerald.
Hello.
And
not doctor.
Ferd PhD.
Yeah.
PhD candidate. Ashley Reminga.
PhD
Ash.
embryo. That's a terrible term. Let's never, ever consider that ever again.
And on Media Mothership, we look at how media shapes our understanding of the world around us. And in terms of that concept of how media impacts on reality, we're diving into probably, I find, the most fascinating way in which media redefines reality, which is the wearing of fictional characters and bizarre kind of variations of real objects that are then worn and displayed. That is fantastic. Cosplay environments. Of course, Emerald King experts from the University of Tasmania, as well as award-winning cosplayer, internationally recognized at the, I noticed on Instagram you posted up the 2024 Cosplay Summit.
Yeah. And it's stupid. I represented my country at the World Cosplay Summit, which is, I'm going to say the Eurovision of cosplay. Mm-hmm. But I'm sometimes more proud of being named one of the 2020 World Cosplay Summit support ambassadors. Because at that time, there were only 3 people who hadn't already represented their country who were named support ambassadors. And they were Yaya Han, cosplay goddess,
wow.
Reika, the immortal top cosplayer in Japan, and this idiot.
It's so modest.
Which, it's great.
It was the momentum, right? That success from success. It really is stunning. And you ended up in the Mercury newspaper, right? And you've been on the front cover of, what is that, Hobart magazine?
Oh, twice, I think. I don't know.
So, yeah, look, I mean, it's a fantastic level of creative potential you've unleashed onto Hobart, Tasmania for many, many years now.
I'm so sorry, Hobart, Tasmania.
And Ashley, you're here, of course, long-time supporter of the show. Thank you for coming back on.
Happy to, but I'm not of that level of cosplay or anything like that.
But the PhD is still going along.
Yes.
Unpacking, analysing gender identity.
Yep, gender identity through gender-bending anime and manga.
How's it going?
It's good. I'm recruiting at the moment, so if you are interested, you can find it through... I've shared it everywhere, but just search for my name, Ashley Reminga, Remminga. You'll be able to find it. I posted pretty much everywhere I could, so if you're gender diverse and you like anime and manga and over the age of 18, then this is for you.
Yes, so we'll post some show notes, or we'll post that up in the show notes. So I noticed on Instagram, great poster, gender bending plus anime manga survey. Are you a gender diverse Australian? Do you enjoy anime and manga? Are you over the age of 18? Do you want to help platform gender diverse voices in anime and manga studies? And there's a QR code. Sorry, I'm thinking, and there's a QR code. So, and what if you're going to sign up and become a subject of you? Or your subject, what would that involve? Just questions?
We'll be talking about one of the things that came out of this research during this lovely slot on Media Mothership. But it's about an hour to 2 hour talk where we just talk and I ask several questions, but also I let the conversation go where it goes and see where it shapes everything around.
Great. So again, over 18, you're kind of gender diverse, Australian. And again, we'll post that up on the show notes. So you're like second year into your PhD now?
I don't want to think what year I'm up to.
Yeah. The journey continues, Okay, so Emerald, cosplay for you. So
Yes.
I also picked this up. So this is something you're involved with a group of other really talented people. What is cosplay for you?
Cosplay for You is happening across the ditch. It's the first cosplay competition happening at Armageddon for a couple of years now. I'm working with Sanat of Spicy Thai Design, who also is based out of Weta Workshop, and with Vic Gridley, who grew up in the Victoria cosplay community and now sometimes does contract work for Weta, but her home is mostly in the costumier department for the New Zealand Royal Ballet.
Wow.
She's making some really interesting hats at the moment.
Hats.
Which is very
Like
exciting.
period setting hats or hats that are kind of themed around a performance? It's theatre?
She's just finished making some really cool animal hats for an upcoming children's ballet, which will be released in English. There's an English version and there's a Deo version about a picture book called Sparkle Hands, which is, I believe, about a magical pig and a farm where absolutely nothing out of the ordinary happens. It is a typical, ordinary, everyday
With a
New
3-act
Zealand farm.
structure set around a typical, normal, everyday.
Is this hats for animals
It is
or
hats for the ballet for the dancers.
okay? I don't know if I'm happy or disappointed by
Yeah,
that.
they are incredible
man.
hats.
Never work with children and animals, Ash. You know that. That would be amusing as an audience member.
I just want to see a little pig with a little hat, like top hat or something.
Until you don't. Until it kind of...
I believe the pig wears a satin like sports spray jacket and matching hurricane pants.
I like that.
So this was for the cosplay for you. You posted up that you were inviting people to join on that date.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? Was that an announcement? Like supporters were just jumping
we've
into
been doing,
it?
because it's been a while. There's a kind of mini generation of cosplayers who haven't had any competitions in New Zealand and in Auckland at Armageddon. So we just wanted to do some announcements. So Weta has come on board.
Weta
And
Works,
Weta
the
Workshop.
Weta Workshop.
The Weta Workshop has
You're
come on board.
kidding.
No, I'm very
What is
excited.
that? I mean...
I can't tell everything yet.
What? Okay, yep.
But yeah, it's going to be. We're going to make it very special for the New Zealand Cuzzies. And yeah, so that's entries for that actually close on Sunday. So if you have any Kiwi cosplayers who you are friends with, tell them to do the thing. But we also have things for Hobart cosplayers as well.
Yes, so the other thing I've come across, Level Up Tasmania cosplay competition. So this registrations are still open for it. What's going on here? What is the Level Up Tasmania cosplay competition?
So Level Up Tasmania is run by Screen Tasmania. This is the second showcase. It's a video game showcase. I believe there's over 40 devs, including staff and students from the ICT department at UTAS, which is great. So there will be across the weekend of the 18th of April, according to my quick Google. So 17th, 18th and 19th, one of those is an industry day. Free play, game showcases, industry talks, supported by Screen Taz. And then on Saturday, we are having the first ever Level Up Tasmania video game cosplay competition.
Wow, the first.
The first. So they haven't had one at Level Up before. I believe it may also be the first only video game cosplay competition in the state. We've had anime ones, we've had sci-fi ones at Ye Olde Sci-Fi Festival.
I remember that back in like 2006.
Yeah, 2006.
Right,
That was
and like
20
Doctor
years
Who
ago.
stuff was
There
there,
was so much Doctor
Dalek,
Who stuff.
TARDIS.
There was a Admiral Akbar hat, which I think lasted for maybe half an hour before somebody put a particular speech bubble next to it.
Holy cow.
But yeah, so I believe it's the first one that's just games.
Video games. So it's
Video games.
specifically cosplay of video game
Yeah,
characters.
and any.
So we're talking
anything.
Mario, Luigi.
Mario, we're talking like Momorpagas, we're talking indie games.
All right.
Oh, I really hope that I get a goose cosplay. That would be
Goose.
fun.
Oh, right. The Goose
The goose game.
Yeah.
Just like somebody wandering around with a sock puppet and a knife.
Video game. All right. So this will be.
This is down on Princess Wolf. It is free entry, both to go and play the games and also to enter the competition. Cosplay competition is sponsored by not only Screen Tasmania but also Sush. Tasmania, who put on a fantastic first event at the end of January. They have another one coming up later in the year as well. And Control Alt 3D Print, that's their name. Control Alt 3D, who are local 3D printers. So those will be our sponsors. And Screen Tas has some other sponsors and amazing people involved in the broader game showcase.
What a great opportunity. So free entry, go along mid-April.
Mm-hmm.
Further details are up on the Level Up website.
Up on the Level Up website, and also you can find it easily on my website, www.emeraldelking.com.
Notice I was checking out your website, and is this currently happening? Like there was something where there were mannequins, people could register their interest in displaying their costumes.
Yeah, so as part of that, we have a show. We're planning a showcase, and the hope is that people who have cosplays that maybe they don't want to wear on stage, but they think that they're really pretty and shiny and they'd like people to look at them, they can apply to have their costume displayed on a mannequin in a well cordoned off, no touchy area, and have them on display as part of a small cosplay exhibition.
I got to say that those moments are amazing. I know you've done a fantastic one many years back at the Morris Miller Library here on Sandy Bay campus at UTAS. Some fantastic cosplay costumes from your personal collection were out there. The Emeraldus one from Captain Harlock, particularly fantastic. So, any of your costumes going to be up on display for that show?
That all depends on how many people apply.
Okay, right. Yes, so you're more than happy.
I would actually, the dream would be if any of the Level Up game devs actually have costumes for their characters to have those on display.
Yes.
I think that would be really, really cool.
Does the display cosplay still video game themed or anything?
Ideally video game themed, but I mean there are so many beautiful costume elements for video games. Everything from your beautiful JRPGs, your ridiculous, inexplicable Squeenix design choices, to your ridiculous indie games.
Have you found the video game environment one very rich for your own personal cosplaying?
I mean, because my cosplay is always linked to my research, most of what I do is linked to Japanese myth and literature, including these.
Yeah,
I can make an argument for these.
I mean, if you're watching on the stream, so we are streaming YouTube and Twitch, Emerald is adorning her head with today's big deep dive, which is such a fascinating topic. And unless there's anything else for Level Up?
No, just entries to the competition will close mid-April.
Mid-April?
So yeah, there's still...
Well, they should, because it's like the 17th of April,
yeah,
right?
So they'll close just ahead of that. Do please get your entries in. Encourage people to come along. Live judging, so you just have to do a stage walk. You can hold somebody's hand if you would like to. And I won't be judging that one. I'm just going to be emceeing. I've got some great judges coming in from Tasmania.
Right.
We're going to have some of the Level Up Tasmania Showcase guests as one of the judges. And we are going to have a special guest judge tied to Animaga as well.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's going to be huge. Has that been announced yet? We're going to surprise people on the day?
We just did. It's a scoop, Craig.
It is. Wow, a lot of expertise coming to bear.
I feel a lot of eyes on me.
Fantastic. Well,
So yeah, I get to MC this one. I don't have to judge it, so it's going to be great.
Yes, all the pressure's on me.
Yep.
so is it? And there's just a competition stream. If you're not wanting to go in competition, can you still strut the catwalk, or is it?
I mean,
just
if we get enough people who show up on the day in costume who would like to just do a stage walk,
Okay.
it's always nice to have those while the judges are having very civil and not at all combative discussions.
Never.
It will be very combative.
Blood sport.
But yeah, also the nice thing about doing these kind of live judging stage walks is that it is very low pressure and you get some wonderful prizes. So Sush is putting up some vouchers for sushi, and so you can go along and have some of their delicious sushi and try out their brand new world first cardboard soy fish, the Holy Carp.
Right.
That they've just released.
Yes.
Trying
And
to
this
think
is
what
to
else I can
replace
sponsor.
the plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something in the paper about
So yeah,
that. It's
local,
very innovative.
Local designer. I was talking to Sush the other day, and 23 years they've been in business, which is kind of incredible.
2-3. Not 6-7. And there we go. Playing bingo at home. Check that one off.
I love
Smashed it. Yeah, it's fun when we get high school teachers in to talk with. There's this kind of post-traumatic stress disorder. So those are the announcements. For any other announcements coming up? That's the main ones. We've got Ash's research project, so enter into that. Then we've got the Cosplay for You and the Level Up cosplay event here locally in Hobart. April. It's going to be a busy April.
For me, yeah, it's still term time, so I'm going to be, well, at least Level Up is local, but Armageddon's going to be fun.
Live the dream. Well, talking of living the dream, part of living the dream is wearing the right clothes. You can talk the talk, but do you walk the walk or wear the wear? So we're diving into what I think, is this the easiest cosplay you can pull off? The famous cosplay of cat ears. Is putting on cat ears the easiest way to cosplay, do we think? Is it the most low level, low effort? Or is there something hidden in it?
I'm thinking of one of the early articles that you did for Intersections with Jonathan, back when Madman had their street clothing line come out.
Oh yeah.
Talking about signifiers, and I think there was a thing that came out around the same time from somebody working with Henry Jenkins about what things like cat ears and Doctor Who scarves and fan buttons do is they on nerd t-shirts, not looking at either of us, they give you an immediate belonging without perhaps the pressure of cosplay, where like with cosplay sometimes you have to prove yourself. There can be a lot of gatekeeping. Less oddly, nerd shirts are not as heavily gatekept as band shirts, according to the research. Band shirts, you're like, if you are a certain type of person who would not be expected to wear a band shirt, you are more likely to be gatekept and asked to list soundtracks or band members.
This is like wearing Cold Chisel or AC/DC.
Nirvana, yeah. Whereas if you wear a nerd shirt, sometimes that's less heavily gatekept. But
the flash symbol.
The flash symbol, yeah. I bring it up because the one that I'm wearing is a vintage Madman National Cosplay competition shirt. They only released these for the 2012 round, and the Madman still exists. They're doing a lot. They do a lot of art house stuff. So Madman and Eastern Eye still exist, and then some of the Madman founders went on to found Sugoi.co, but the cosplay logo that they made up for Madman is just the Madman straitjacket dude with cat ears.
With cat ears. And it's interesting how effectively, I guess, that symbol does some heavy lifting. Well, let's start with Foucault and Hall, shall we? Identity and performance. I hope everyone at home's done their readings this week. So first, I guess, what our cat is, right? Emerald's wearing them now. So on top of your headphones well, not really on top, with your headphones.
With my headphones.
You've got how would you describe it? It's one of those hair bands with...
So these are the fox ears from
Fox ears.
the Capitalist Bear Friends and Friends Disney franchise. I hate Capitalist Bear, whatever his name is. The bear that Mickey gives Minnie that Tokyo Disney Sea spun into an entire different franchise. Anyway, one of Capitalist Bear Friends and Friends is a fox who's pink and wears tartan and is a detective and has a deer stalker, very Conan Doyle. And I was not much safe from Capitalist Bear Friends and Friends Christmas poinsettia
Gotcha.
fox ears. So technically these are fox ears, but I think we were talking about the crossover of animal ears and cat ears, and we determined that other ears were okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Are they
beginning
okay?
to have. I think they are all connected, but also they all have different meanings as well, depending on how you who wears them, how you wear them, and everything to do with that. And of course, yeah, you can wear any sort of animal ears.
Yep.
No stigma with that. Like,
Well, yeah. So I guess in terms of when you see someone in cat ears, animal ears, cat ears, there's a sense that it's cute, maybe playful, mischievous. Are these how people get perceived, do you feel, when they put the cat ears on, that they're actively kind of wanting cuteness? Are they the dominant ways to read cat ears? Cute.
well, I'll cross into. I sort of alluded. So with my study, which you can find and mentioned already, that we've heavily plugged. Yes, very promo.
Is it
happy.
published? Have we got any publications we can plug?
Well, this is the raw information coming out of it.
Oh, okay.
So
So
this is the
fresh.
This isn't even on my thesis yet. So this is how fresh it is. I'm refined.
These are new findings.
Yeah, new findings that even Emerald doesn't know yet.
I'm really excited because some of the assumptions that I've made about cat ears, some of the things that are like just part of general internet lore and things that are known, you're finding proofs for.
Yeah. So I this is asked to gender diverse people over the age of 18. It's only open to gender diverse people, so any sort of cis-normative understanding of cat ears is not included in this data. But there's been a number of things that have come out of it, and one is the idea of why do you wear it? Because cats are cute, and you want to embody this sense of cuteness, almost this hyperfemininity in the sort of like performative way. You're performing this sort of I hate using performing and performativity, Butler aside, but almost like you're trying to act a almost hyper feminine in a way similar to cosplay. Sometimes there is an inherent need to hyper feminize, and so you're almost acting in this way. And a number of trans people feel there is a need, especially in transition. And for anyone listening, I am trans myself, so I'm saying this not as like I am asserting this onto trans people. There is almost this self, I guess, reflection and also society pressure to perform this hyper femininity to fit in and be accepted. With that in mind, I just saw the flash on the screen of the
Oh, right, an encoder. Oh, wow. We've gone into like weird aspect ratio. Can't handle the cat ears.
I hope it's still streaming.
It is. Let me.
Okay. But there is this need to perform hyperfemininity. So, with all that said, there is a real perception around cat ears and the a sense the femininity attached to it, and I think Emerald will probably know much better than I about the history of femininity in cats and how the perception around cats. Sorry if I'm throwing you under the bus.
I mean, how far back are we going? Can we have parameters? Because otherwise,
let's go either very far back and not go to modern day, or go just recently.
I I can go very far back because it's very cool. So we have pre-modern depictions of cat ears, cat beings, particularly in kabuki. So kabuki is the Japanese stage art where it's the one with the fabulous makeup and it's all about sensation. So more so than the other traditional arts, this one is the one that was very much for a samurai audience, but also for like the lower classes to be able to enjoy as well. So they were always up for innovations. One of the stories that they told, one of the things that became popular was a tale of the, I love this, it's a terrible translation from the 60s, but I love it. It's called The Vampire Cat of Nabeshima, all about bakeneko or vampire, or like demon cats. So the mythology about cats in Japan, one of them is that if a cat gets too old, its tail will split in two and it will become a demon. And these cats have the power to possess people, sometimes to drive them to insanity, sometimes to seduce princes and royals. Heavy tie over to magical foxes as well. They have similar powers. But the special thing about vampire cats is that if you can find the bakaneko, if you can find the demon cat, you can stop them. But we do have depictions of kabuki actors wearing cat ears. So that is potentially the earliest version of it. And of course, at that time, so we're talking, it's a kuniyoshi, Utagao kuniyoshi print. So that's like Edo period, so early 1800s. We have a lot of your kimono fashion being shaped by either kabuki actors or geisha. So they were trendsetters, and it may well have been that from there could have been a design that became popular based on cats.
I mean, it's interesting thinking about the popularity, of course, of traveling to Japan, going to a temple walk, and you can dress up in geisha or kimono. And as you were talking about before, Emerald, wearing these things can link you into community. Would anyone be wearing cat ears with kimono to try and be in conversation with a history of
I don't know about of a history, but I'm sure you're definitely going to have your street fashion people. Like cat ears have become very ubiquitous. You can buy them from like your Claire's or your kind of cheap jewelry places. I don't think either of you know this about me, but when I was a student here in first year, I used to live out of woolen men's suits that I got from the salvos and then tailored, and cat ears. And I think I made myself a pair of black satin cat ears, and I didn't take those things off.
Where was the cat ears coming from? Anime? Like you were watching anime at the time?
I think I was a filthy little weeb at the time because I had these cat ears that I never took off, and my first ever wig that I bought, which was a highlighter pink anime girl bob, and I just had those, and it wasn't of any character. It was just to my entire personality was Japanese student.
Because the communities which gravitate around cat ears are kind of anime fans. Mm-hmm. Furries is where it's not a full commitment as the furry space is, right? Cat ears can visually simple, but are cat ears involved in the furry space? Do we think?
I mean, I'll let you take this.
Yes.
There is some. She's pulling up the data.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the data. So again, very raw stuff. Some people have noted the parallels between a lot of trans people engaging with wearing cat ears. Not all, if you wear cat ears, that does not make you trans. I know it's shocking to believe that, but a number of trans people like wearing cat ears for that hyperfemininity, but there's also the parallels with a lot of trans people also fit in within the furry community, or perhaps better explained, a lot of furries are also trans members, because there is a lot of this sense of escapism, the idea of being able to transcend beyond this normative standards. So when you are trying to navigate that with your own gender identity, there's also that sense within the furry community, where they're able to experiment with beyond this sort of normative standards of society, beyond this human aspect. And of course, it's not like, you know, they're identifying necessarily as dog or cat as framed in some of these media outlets. But the idea of having personas and that, and these avatars of existence that they can, you know, escape into, and that is a way of escaping. And so I think there is, although they're not, I wouldn't say, like, it's not like the gateway drug into getting into furry culture, putting on cat ears. There is that sense of parallel that there is similar, I guess, shaping motivations and other things that we see.
I think what's really interesting about, and I love that you mentioned that you said that cat ears are not a gateway to furries.
It's not the gateway drug.
It's not the gateway drug.
You don't start with cat ears and then you start putting on the cat tail and then you've got the cat paw. Some people may
Some people may do. The squishy bean socks. Oh.
I didn't even know about those.
Do you
so
know? Yeah,
that's my next step.
I feel like squishy bean socks are more associated with cat boys than with cat girls.
Squishy bean socks.
As in, like they're socks and they have cat paws on the bottom of them.
Oh, right.
They would be so nice on like hardwood floors.
I mean, they look like a sensory nightmare to me.
I feel like they would be so nice on hardwood floors, like when it's like cold and that in the morning, like Hobart winter morning, like having them would be like, stop you slipping. I'm
just over here like full body cringing at the imagined sensation. But no, because I'm thinking of things like, so we have you know, back in the day, like 90s, when you couldn't get anything for any kind of costuming, everybody made their own. We have cat ears that you can now pick up at like dollar stores and fashion stores. You can buy them from Kmart, you can buy them from Target. You've got the Kraken Kitty razor ears headsets that I think came away and then came back. And then you've also got, that kind of weird cosplay crossover where you have cat girls in anime and manga, versions of popular characters who dress up as cat girls, cat ears that are put on pop culture clothing because cat ears equal pop culture. But then I noticed when She-Ra was really popular, there were lots of people making Catra ears. Catra being the original evil villain / love interest of She-Ra. So 1980s, she's just a sexy cat woman who has a giant pink lion a giant pink lion who's kind of like He-Man's green tiger, but a lion. And then in the modern version of She-Ra, she is, She-Ra's love interest. And so there's been a lot of crossover and a lot of new making techniques that came out of that particular series. I just think it's really interesting how there are many types of cat ears, and these are deployed visually for a similar purpose, but everybody has different meaning behind them.
Well, that's a key question in terms of what we feel they represent when you're wearing them to others. Is it a just a playful state of mind, or is it something you think, okay, well, I'm going to a convention, I want to be perceived as a particular type of person or have a particular type of atmosphere around me, so I'm going to put cat ears as a way of identifying as a particular person, cute, or I mean, because it's interesting thinking of the communities where cat ears, you see them. So communities and texts, I guess, anime texts, the Vocaloid stuff, or the you're watching a Let's Play video game.
Yep.
Right, the VTubers. Right, I mean, when I put in cat ears and cat girls into the YouTube search, so many VTubers, and many of them talking about kind of weaponizing their ears with their audiences, right? One guy was talking about how his character design that he got for his avatar didn't have cat ears, but decided, he'd modeled some cat ears, so if people paid $5 during the stream, he'd wear it for 5 minutes. But then people were putting like $50 in, and it became this big kind of performance that he said, right? That this performance of the cat ears and the audience wanting them to wear cat ears. identity. So that idea of kind of representing something to that audience, or just play.
I don't like. I'm curious though, if they were doing it as a challenge, was it because the cat ears were seen as a pejorative, or was it because like there feels like a kind of pressure that like frames where the audience saw the cat ears? Was it like, you're wearing cat ears, punishment, or was it no, you'll be super cute, you've got to wear the cat ears and then make merch and we will buy the merch and support you? And
I think there's a lot more going on. In fact, I came across it on a YouTube short, which in its very context was about, and I think it was, the title was I'm hostage to my audience. So very much the drama of it, which leans into the YouTube shorts kind of quick dramatic bang for your buck impact. So I think it was performative and playing into this narrative of I'm trapped, but it's still playful. But I think it was. I saw it. My reading honestly was mercenary. That this guy is just milking this for all it's worth. It could have been anything that was attached. The cat ears, though, again, and I'm thinking it comes down to this thing that the cat ears are simple, right? They're visually simple icons or little things to add. So it's not too much effort, but the impact is huge, I find.
Yeah, well, I want to expand on that because there was a really fantastic and I found really insightful and interesting thing that one of my participants said when asked about why they love cat ears and why they wear cat ears and like characters with cat ears, and they mentioned that they have autism, and that they found it really helpful with the expressiveness of how cat ears and cat tails react with emotions, and it helped them understand and pick up these visual cues of communication. And I thought that was just a really interesting element of cat ears being able to be used as a communication device in of themselves, these signifiers of emotions. And
yes.
Did they say if they had like neuroware?
I'll have to check over my data.
I think we have the first Nekomimi released by Neuroware, I want to say in 2014 or 15, where you could wear cat ears and plug in little receptors, and then the ears would react to your emotions. These were recently, I say recently, but like 2020 still feels recent to me because I am ushered and time moves differently. They were re-released with better technology and more responsive technology, but still I think with a prohibitive price tag. So I don't know if they gained the popularity that they did when they first came out.
I'm interested to know about this price tag. I'll have to get that from you later to maybe
We'll get a research grant.
Yeah, we'll get a research grant on this. We'll write a paper.
Very, very important technical equipment.
It is. Yeah.
Well, I wonder, because I imagine that cost is also indexed around their kind of effort that was going into it, and whether there's a kind of a feeling attached to that demonstration of cultural capital or just the phenomenon of wearing it. Do you feel, were participants in your research saying they felt different, or that they felt they were treated differently with the cat ears, that the cat ears was opening up conversations or going according to plan in terms of, if we define some of the stereotypical associations of cat ears, feminizing, cuteness, playful, mischievous, is that changing how people are treating you? That they're coming to you as kind of cute or mischievous, playful?
I don't think anyone's actually mentioned whether other people's perceptions have changed based on that interaction, which I think is such an interesting thing to pick up, the fact that no one has really mentioned that. Because I think, therefore, we can perhaps assume that it isn't anyone else's perception changing, but one's own confidence in themselves, the ability to go out and feel more empowered, be able to experiment with, in this case, because my research with gender diverse people feeling more confident with their gender identity, playful in a way, they're not being challenged, so they feel great about it. perhaps they wouldn't have been challenged anyway, but the fact that they're not being challenged with these cat ears is just so empowering. And that, so for them, they're talking up how much they love the experience and their own experience with loving it, as opposed to other people's interactions with it. I think that's such a really interesting thing.
Because it's an interesting pressure around, I guess, putting costume on or feeling you're having to wear a costume. I mean, in this case, it's interesting people for whom they might not feel comfortable in a particular clothing or identity, where they would feel pressure, but then the cat ears, the costumes, the cosplay environment, the manga anime environment. Is there something about these objects and texts that open that up for some?
I mean, I think one thing that I've always found, and because I predominantly work with texts and costumes, I'm a literary scholar at heart, and I admire people who do interviews and work with humans, but I like texts. And so one thing that I've always been really wanting to come out of the anime studies area is more trans and gender diverse people looking into areas of gender and sexuality. The early work that I did in the space on BL in, I think it was Boys Love. So like one of the first articles I ever did. One of the things that was raised is that Boys Love is a space where AFAB and queer women, so AFAB individuals and queer women can kind of experience and play with sexuality without the threat of terrifying bits and also patriarchal dominance. So where you have two men in the role, some of the patriarchy is removed. But then you also have a lot of people who realize that they are queer in this space, like through cosplay, the area and the openness to be able to play with identity and representation, the ability to literally take costumes on and off and take characters on and off has meant that for particularly a lot of cosplayers, but also a lot of fans who are in that space, through various reasons, have been able to discover more about themselves by dressing up with other people. And I think it's a really interesting phenomenon. It's something that I've definitely observed over the years. I've been very privileged, particularly with some of the events that I've run and some of the spaces that I've been in, either backstage at competitions or just being really, really old as a cosplayer. It'll be 20 years next year that I've been cosplaying for. It's been really interesting to see how people have figured out who they are through the course of dressing up as other people.
20 years. 20 years. And cat ears, has cat ears always been in that 20-year period? I mean, you were...
I was giggling. So there are Wikipedia pages about cat ears. There is... what is this? It's very cute.
Because what is it? Cat ears that the entry's under, or cat girls? Or because I know it's in Wikipedia as well.
It is cat girl on Wikipedia.
Yeah, cat girl.
And then on fandom, on the aesthetics wiki, there is a very cute purple entry on Neko.
Yes.
And they give the origins as 1920s and 2010s, and I was like, oh, it's a first year, not in either of those periods. The 1920s one is really interesting.
1920s Japan? 1920s the
Japan.
world? Right.
Somewhere, Roger Pulvers has just felt a shiver go down his spine as I take...
So the post-war, World War One, Jazz Age...
Jazz Age, Taisho period, we have...
But the bubbling of right-wing ultranationalism there in the background...
I just want to make sure that I am right and that I'm not taking Roger Pulver's name in vain. Yeah, it is Miyazawa Kenji.
And then 2010.
And then 2010, according to the Aesthetics Wiki.
Is it a cycle? Right. Like some people like charting those.
Everything's cyclical.
There were some solar flares occurring 100 years apart.
I mean, look, apparently...
I think some of the data's off, though, because I feel like 2006 and that had a lot of cat ears as well.
What was going on? Really? So,
like,
in what way? Where were you seeing the cat ears in 2006?
Especially in online, like, the forums and that, there was a lot of a lot of the anime forums of the early 2000s also had a lot of discourse on cat girls and that, especially through anime and manga. If you
These
look
were
at
like pictures of,
Yeah.
like I remember.
I would say back in, I think it was 2004, and this was one of the things that came out of my research was the influence of Tokyo Mew Mew, the the magical girl show where the protagonist is a cat girl, and that was such a big series for
because this character, like it's the cat is only part of it, right? And then there's the kind of inflection of the vocal performance. That is she the one that does nyan at the end of every sentence or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Like it's those affectations of cat language into the actual dialogue the character has. Like nyan. Is that because I was curious as to whether or not the as we were talking about gateway drugs into furry and
one person admitted Tokyo Mew Mew was a gateway for them, and certainly I admit it was for me into anime, manga, and also I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that. So.
I mean, I was thinking of my gateway, and it was Masumune Shiro's manga Dominion Tank Police, which had two characters that were kind of cat characters, more similar to, because the Wikipedia article is weird, it also references the first appearance of cat characters in Western comics, being the cheetah character from DC, which appeared in Wonder Woman, right? The Wonder Woman 84 had that character.
Yeah, so I think she pops up very early on. So what, that's DC, that's like, is that Silver Age or Golden Age? That's like 30s?
Silver, maybe golden. Yeah, I don't know where that character first got introduced.
But I mean, at the same time, that's when you're getting into a lot of your cheetah print, a lot of your noir, a lot of your like. This is where you get the origins of Cutie Honey actually is coming through with a lot of like sexy spy archetypes that will go on to be things like Mrs. Peel and the Avengers. So
and there was that black and white horror film Cat People, right, which has that fantastic 1930s, 1940s British horror.
I mean, look, if the thing about cats is they do one of two things, and it is like we've mentioned demon cats in Japanese mythology, but if we look at Western religious iconography, particularly black cats, they are seen as a sign of the devil. They are something that is untrustworthy. There's a phrase in Japanese which is neko o kaburu, which is like to put on cat's ears, and it's when you're being false, or when you're feigning interest, or when you're feigning friendship.
Oh, really?
It's like kind of like
okay, go on.
Yeah, so I think we do have like similar kind of belief structures around cats globally, where they're either like cute, friendly, happy things, but there's also something very sinister about them as well.
Yes, well, Egypt, right?
Egypt, where they were worshipped as goddesses.
Yeah, when I was thinking throwback, I instantly thought Egypt, and you went Japan, and I was like, I love where this is going. I'm not going to mention anything about Egypt.
So cat-ears do travel globally.
Yeah,
they do. Well, they do, and I mean, there are people who try and pinpoint the dates of people dressing up, and like they mention the 1930s with Sci-Fi Con 1 with 4E and Morio as being like the first sci-fi dress-ups. There are people who... Frenchie Looning has just put out a thing where she traces it back to Mr. Skygak from Mars.
I need to show you one by Andrew Liptak. Goes back I think to the 1800s, even 1700s. So,
but like humans dress up. That's what they do. They dress up as their dreams, as their nightmares, as their gods, as their deities. So a big part of the recorded ceremonies that we have through paintings and hieroglyphs and tomb paintings is people dressing up and pretending to be Egyptian deities. So it's one of those universalisms that, we try to avoid. But humans like dressing up as their heroes and their worst nightmares.
So... I mean, is this more than just play then? Is it something more permanent, right? If we're actually attaching it to underpinning of psychology, it seems a recognition of a permanent desire that may or may exist on various spectrums for some, where they might want to attach themselves more strongly to narratives of difference or otherness or escapism from an identity. In terms of unpacking this, there's, I guess, a cultural dimension, a literature dimension, as you were saying. It gets tricky when there's a psychological dimension that then begins to be wrestled with. With your own data, how do you find the methodologies that you're trying to unpack these through? You're not using psychology per se, but
I think it's just I don't know if I'm well equipped to definitely talk about the psychology aspect of it. Since at the moment this data is just raw data through interviews, and so I haven't even had a chance really. I know I'm missing a lot of my own notes on what people have said out of it, but I think there is just I guess a need and a desire to really explore identity, similar to sport, how like you can look at sport over many years and people have this competitiveness, need to play, the Olympics back from ancient Greek times, the Roman celebration. There were these sense of triumph and ideals that you're trying to express. And I think with costume and that you're getting identity and a lot of this other aspect, you can play with it in such, I guess, creative and powerful ways. And so I think there is a desire in the similar sort of way that we negotiate these identities, meanings and senses of ourselves through cosplay and other things.
I think you guys are asking the right questions, but we're still so far away from answers that
that's what research is for. Yes. It's a very exciting project.
I've got so much
more. So excited.
So in the dying 5 minutes left of the broadcast, obviously questions, a really interesting topic around cat ears that then opens up these deeper questions around identity and community, belonging, where these trends come from, how they travel across different cultures. If this conversation has made someone interested, and thinking about your own explorations 20 years ago, starting cosplay, where would they go next today? Back 20 years ago, you made certain choices around, okay, I'm feeling curious about these artifacts. Let's embark on some journey. Where would you encourage people to look at next? Obviously, your Instagram pages, but...
This is, I'm in my head, I'm like, are you questioning, I'm questioning whether I like cat ears, the same way about queer coming out.
I feel like for queer and open spaces, where people want to go, I don't actually know what the safe online spaces are anymore because of enshittification and the internet being bad. But for in-person spaces, going to events like the Level Up Game Showcase, going to things like Judy's and queer-friendly spaces, if you are questioning and kind of want to figure out what's happening there. I should say, so I use she/their pronouns, and I've always referred to myself as a mostly cis, mostly straight academic, and sometimes cosplay uncle. So I'm not that, but I feel like, so there are in-person events. A lot of anime and fandom events are very safe places to go. Youth Arc as well has spaces for underage as well.
A furry workshop.
Yeah, so there are underage spaces as well as of-age spaces. If you are overage and you are over the age of 18 and you identify as gender diverse, and you would like to take part in this study, you can either do a Google for a gender bending anime and manga survey, or you can check out either of our Instagrams. I am Emerald L. King everywhere, and there is a very sparkly, glittery purple QR code pinned to my Instagram page.
So, and Emerald, Ash, where can people reach out to explore any of the ideas you've got?
My Instagram page.
Yeah, Emerald's Instagram. But actually, probably better algorithm, so you're probably more likely to find it through that. But you can also just search me, Ashley Reminga. Similar, I'm Ashley Reminga everywhere. So you can. The hardest part is spelling my name. Reminga, Remminga. You can find me anywhere, pretty much anywhere. Like if you just type my name into Google, you'll find me.
She's there behind you.
I'm always coming
out of the screen.
Well, cat ears. I must admit, I am cat ear curious.
Yeah.
And we'll need to investigate how it changes things around me. I feel so.
We'll have
really
to do a
exciting.
follow-up.
Yeah.
Have to do a follow-up.
We'll have to see, like, in 6 months'
Cat is
time
in the
whether you're
studio.
wearing cat ears, like when you.
Is it the gateway? Is it the slippery slope? Is it the becoming? No, really fascinating stuff. And again, I'd love to get you guys back once April's done.
Yeah.
And the craziness and see how some of the further analysis is right. I love how you were looking at your mobile phone for data as we were doing the show, because there's so many interesting things I want to find out more about what you're looking through.
I've got so much, and that was just
live data research, guys. Very exciting. All right. Well, look, thanks again, Ashley from the University of Tasmania, PhD student, and Emerald, lecturer in, what is it, Japanese studies still? Or what do you
Technically, I
classify
am
as?
lecturer in humanities, currently working in the Japanese department.
Dramatic pause. Okay.
Who knows? Languages is alive and well at the University of Tasmania, and we also creep into other parts of the university as well. So gender studies and languages and media now.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant. All right. Keep listening now. Thanks for coming on, guys. Show notes will have some more details of where you can catch up with some of the exciting research coming out of these two excellent scholars. Kick back now to some music at Edge Radio.